And I believe we are live. Good day, my dear fellow friends. My name is Raven Marine, aka Thunboon Wellum, and welcome to another thuncast. Today, this is episode 6 of the thuncast, and we are getting a good, willing support from everyone within the IOM community. You know, when I first started this, I full on thought that this would be an absolute failure, but turns out it was absolutely wonderful when it started from the very beginning. Now people want to open their ideas, open their opinions on what Caldega is and what the community is meant to be. Now, we have a good special guest here. He is a man of the Dark Angels and he represents the Librarians. He is a a master of mine. I give you the man, the myth himself, the legend. Tell me, Thee, how was your day?
Slow day, slow start. Still the morning, still plenty of time to go.
I see. So, beyond everything else, you were interested within my thuncast. Why is that?
I mean, I see it as a platform to get stuff heard. If I can think of anything that needed to be heard, and honestly, entertainment for the community.
I'm glad that you see it like that. The main purpose of the Thuncast is for people to have a good idea of what Caldega is, to get a little primary example on different people's opinions, so when they join, they can have a full-on daily experience by listening to logs, listening to podcasts, or Thuncast, and have an absolute wondrous time. Because I am not doing it for personal gain, but I'm just doing it for the humble community that I joined. I wasn't able to do this before because I was young. I had a young mind, and therefore I didn't know what to do. But now I am here. Alright. To start off, I'm gonna let you know from now that these logs will not be edited in any sort of way in order to caption the funniness and the trying of me. There are multiple stuff being in progress in the near future of the Thuncast, so I'm trying to figure that out. But for now, let us stick with the one guest that we have and the support that we're getting. All right. First question: how did you find the IOM community, or community in general?
Let's see. I started getting back into Warhammer groups. Well, not back into, but into Warhammer groups back in late 2019, 2020. And I do believe this was, 2018 in Doom Forgers. Then eventually, Doom Forgers died out, internal drama, stuff like that. Unfortunately, the leadership in his IOM didn't know how to run a group. And a year or so later, maybe less, I stumbled across this IOM in early to mid 2020. Way different era than what it is now.
What about... oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So beyond everything else, that must have been a troublesome year of yours? Or was it genuine mid-emotion?
Let's see. That was back when I was still in high school, so I was most likely, balancing schooling and group stuff, so... I remember, actually joining the group back in 2020 via, I think it was the old Krieg map that got me into it. Then I joined the, Krieg. Can't remember much from back then, but... 3 years flies by, man.
Indeed. Was this year like the days when Caldega did not exist. This new gun script wasn't able to revolutionize everything, and therefore the community had much factions, and therefore the Great Fall had happened. Were you there for that?
The Great Fall.
I call it the Great Fall because many people had lost the rank of, well, demigod and god for Primarchs and all. It was a sad time for people who were that of a veteran, and therefore they had to start over by calling themselves a new name, and now being, well, now forlorn cannon father for the Imperium of Man. Some of the veterans, I mean. Were you there for that?
I may have actually missed that or left right before it happened because I do know the times I joined. The first time I got to the position of lieutenant and the Canadian 8th, and I think no, I did leave due to real life priorities, and I couldn't help the group anymore. And I believe a schism happened right after I left. The two times in the past that I've been in the group, right after I leave, there's some sort of schism, some sort of big thing, and I just ended up missing it.
I see. Well, many people did not want to be on that day, and therefore, honestly, I'm glad that you weren't there. Some people call it, or the veterans, called it the troublesome times, and the one that actually gave you PTSD for some apparent reason. But good question of the first, well answered. Second question. What was the what was your journey like in IOM community, or the community in general?
Well, I don't really consider the past experiences as the true experience because, well, that was a different time and the community was vastly different back then. Very different from what it is now. But so far, overall, the community's just been welcoming new people trickling in every day. And the problem people that join that do try to cause trouble are swiftly dealt with as soon as they join. The community doesn't tolerate it, so it's a pretty good environment to be in.
Hmm.
Everybody's just here to enjoy the game, enjoy the community, and partake in their love for Warhammer.
Very, very well said. A strict, firm grip would mean to great success in the near future. A wise man once told me that, and I still remember it from my old Templar days. But that was not what I meant. You did answer it very well, but I was like, the ranks that you pulled off, the journey that you had to come from a mere guardsman into the librarian that you are.
Oh boy. Right, so I rejoined the Imperium back in December of 2022. You see, I was in Revan's IOM, I was a Primarch in his IOM, and frankly, the community as a whole knows he can't run stuff at all properly. So, frankly, I got tired of me and my members that I brought over here being treated like dirt, and me being forced to punish them because favoritism.
Hmm.
And I really didn't have any power over it, so I contacted the Triumvirate and had the opportunity to be trialed as a aspirant, or you know. So some people may see that as free ranking stuff like that, but honestly, a lot of things were still being set up during that time. The guard was still being, from what I could recall, formatted, stuff like that. MT, that was when the one we shall not name was running MT, and the Arbites, and I got trialed, and I was deemed fit. So I eventually started working my way for UM, and eventually became a scout sergeant. Was a scout sergeant for a month after my few weeks as a regular neophyte, since I did graduate from the aspirancy.
Hmm.
But yeah, it took me around month and a half to get to Brevet Sergeant in the Ultramarines, which was unfortunately riddled with issues. And unfortunately, I was deemed fit to take the position of Brevet Sergeant in the Dark Angels during the transition with the new chapter master.
Hmm.
Uh, and I did end up expressing interest in the Librarius, and I was allowed to enter the Librarius as a codicier. And over the next few inspections, I attained the rank of epistolary due to my assistance within the chapter and help keeping it stable.
A very well journey, well lived, and still lived up to this day. What really caught me off was you were a Primarch?
In Revens, not this IOM.
Ah, the place of mostly people hate. Like
Yeah.
I've never been to Revens, but yet I've heard some horrible remarks from it.
Honestly, it's a foul community that will bring you nothing but a headache.
I already done stated that in my last log. Honestly, if I only knew. Hmm. What if my life was actually different and I full on joined Revens? You know, when I was starting off my journey of trying to find a good Warhammer 40k group, that place, Revens, was one of my ulterior options to get a new start back. I was about to commit to it, until Matt was able to send me a little DM to the group. The IOM community for Caldega. Oh, when I joined the game, I was truly stunned, surprised on how this could have much potential into it. And after some time, with max motivation, I decided to start my journey here. A little bit to know about myself. But still, I think, I think I'll take you guys' word for Revan's group. I don't know why, but that thing still has something.
I mean,
Anyway,
there's a reason they. Oh, sorry.
sorry. No. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, there's a reason they have a high leadership turnover. People either get tired of it or are simply removed.
Hmm. Other than that, let's just continue with the thuncast with a third question. What was
Yeah.
your position like in IOM?
This IOM or
IOM here.
IOM? Let's see. My current position?
Yes. I believe.
Honestly, it's a great position to have. I'm happy with it. I help run the council and stuff like that within the first chapter. I mean, First Legion, whatever, Dark Angels. Guys, don't lynch me. But yeah, I help manage the documents. I help command. I honestly, it's not that much, but still, I manage to make an impact nevertheless.
Hmm. Your role is similar to Oliver. He runs the Imperium of Man documents by organizing it by very well standards, and you run the DA version. Honestly, you two play a good role within the community. Make it stabilized enough to allow us to live and thrive and have a good time. And
I really
maybe
wouldn't. Oh,
and don't get me wrong here, but I do not mean this in the wrong intentions. Keep an eye on John to see if he makes some wrong intentions, maybe?
not that far. No, I'm not in that circle yet.
Hmm.
But even document wise, I wouldn't even consider it that big. It's mainly just updating people, stuff like that, and determining who's fit to progress within the chapter, who can be brought into the chapter, stuff like that. So I also play a factor in ascensions and inductions.
Hmm. Very, very fascinating.
So I do have a say in a portion of things.
Hmm. Alright, now, that is actually really good to note. You know, I'm actually trying to become a librarian myself, and this position would be similar to the positions that I've been before. Hopefully, I'm able to adjust. And like you said, um, train a little bit more with the arts of paperwork.
Uh,
Alright, fourth question. What are you going to do in the near future in IOM, or the community in general?
near future, let's see. Right. So I'm happy with my position. I'd be happy to progress as well. Anything that honestly helps me Imperium, but my long-term, near future, well, probably not really near, since things are still being developed, things are still being planned, things are still being set up over time, is, well, the Death Watch.
Oh wait! Before we continue this, I forgot to mention a little fact. Within these Thuncast, we are not allowed to imbue such important information that has not been leaked out to the public yet. So,
Oh, yeah.
yes, so do be mindful that some information would need to be kept secretly on a strictly basis.
Oh, I know.
So,
It's just my goal.
yeah. So, if I'm correct, the faction that you stated, right, will I mean for the DA, has it already been known to the public, or
I mean, this faction is already listed in the public genre factions document, so anybody can pull it up and look it up.
All right, just making sure. Continue then.
But, yeah, that's honestly my long-term goal. If I can't achieve that, I'd probably just shoot for a position within the Death Watch itself, or maybe shoot for Chief Librarian within the Dark Angels.
All right. Very well done.
Yep.
Sorry, brain fart for a bit. All right. Fifth question. What do you think of IOM?
Let's see. I think, honestly, it's a pretty great community that gets the shining beacon out of the entire genre on the platform. The people are welcoming. The development is... The devs put their soul into their work. They enjoy their work, and you can really tell the results. But it stood the test of time despite the issues, notable issues it may have had in the past. The community and its leadership have worked to root out those issues and remedy them. So, I haven't seen a better group on this platform for a while.
And I could relate to that story. It's honestly really good that I found this place, and it really reminds me of my old place back in my Templar days. I could truly actually say for myself that this place is home, even family to me. And by the way, this is not mistaken beyond real life family matters, but for real though, it kind of just feels like family. And each and every person I meet every day can give a good story about how they started their journey, including the veterans also, and the newbies as well. But if you were
Yep.
able, but if you were able to sum that in one word, not and by the way, those will not be like any commenting like good, excellent, or or anything else. But if you're able to sum it in one word, what would it be?
A group?
Yeah, for the group itself, in one word.
Let's see. Give me a minute. This is a big question. Big question. Hmm. One word. To this community, right?
Yes, for this community, in one word. It's taking you a while, I see. I think you're
Yes,
trying
yes.
to. You're
This is
really.
a this, this is a
Sorry.
big question. Using my brain right now. Using my brain for once. Hmm. Maybe Google has an answer. Let's see. Maybe Google has an answer. Maybe
pull up,
Google has an answer.
pull up the. The Codex of Astartes to try to find a word. No.
Yeah, let me pull up the codex. Let me pull up the codex. Hmm.
And
Why
this
does
is
it have to only be one word? Why can't it be like? Hmm,
wow, the almighty thee actually stoked up by just one word itself. You know what?
one word.
How about just three words instead?
You know
Can
what? You know, I can do one word. I can do one word.
okay.
Vibrant. The community is always pushing forward. It's always developing. It's always pushing towards something new. And I wouldn't say people are very enthusiastic sometimes, but usually there's some people that are enthusiastic. So, and it still applies. It still applies.
Hmm, vibrant. And with the statement that you left after it can truly vouch for it. Let's just hope that actually John himself can actually vouch for that. I don't even know. All right.
I don't know, man.
Final question, my dear friend. What is the one thing that you would want in IOM community? Now, do note for the rules of this question, it can be anything, but it only has to be one. So that means one ability, one armor, one weapon. It can only be anything that you desire, but it has to only be one. It
Does that have
depends.
to be serious?
Well, it's up to you. We got like what the fishing. We got like what fishing and basically Warhammer 40k, but Animal Crossing. Am I getting that right? Or
Well, let's add on to that trend. So you know how there's void whales in Warhammer, right?
yes, I believe the mighty beasts of wait space. If I'm correct. Well,
Yes, yes, they're warp-related creatures as well, but the presence of void whales would imply the presence of a occupation related to hunting those void whales in the 42nd millennium, would it not? Void whaling. Therefore, the presence of a void whale hunting equipment
ooh,
would be necessary.
ah,
I'm basically hinting towards a huge ass harpoon gun.
ooh,
Now
okay.
that sounds fun.
That would be fun. Honestly, could you at least say that you could add that with the fishing update? Like add the most largest being in the largest being as a whale. We just pull it out and just suddenly it just flings a bunch of people.
You know what? I'll quote somebody from the server, the little genre Dark Millennium, whatever server. Let's see. Let's see.
But actually, that would be a really good suggestion.
I don't know. I just want to shoot a knife ear or a marine with a harpoon gun. Watch them get like pinned to a wall or something.
So that's the okay. So that's the sort of concept that you were looking for. Oh, I full on thought of the whale. I full on thought of the whaling,
Oh
but
no 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 no! I'm not talking about actual whaling. I'm just talking about like a harpoon gun to shoot people with because that sounds fun
oh,
and comedic.
that would absolutely be fun. We already have a well, I don't even know if the bat is in the game anymore, but we already have that can just send people flying. Being harpooned into a wall can honestly feel like some TF2 nostalgia when you're playing sniper and you're using the bow and you just pin some poor soul into a wall that was
Yeah,
passing
that.
by. Yeah, that
Yeah.
now that is a good suggestion. I really do apologize for taking it as a full-on fishing suggestion.
Oh no, I don't mind.
But we got some developers who are actually listening, and therefore they actually are interested within the podcast. But however, they have to go through the little shuffling thing that I have set up. Mostly, I would pick a name from out the shuffle box, and therefore it would be anyone. You, coincidentally, was actually one of them. And don't worry, I have my also you guys in the community who are mostly lower. You guys are all important, and therefore I want each and every one of you to bear an opinion. So therefore, all it's just up to is the box that shuffles.
Box.
You've answered all the questions very, very well. Or you wait, are you still trying to answer the sixth question, or are you still trying to look for that suggestion?
I think I'm good.
Okay. You have answered all the questions very well, and I thank you three for being here to this day, sharing your opinions, and sharing your journey from your trials and your tribulations for making it this far. As a librarian, you truly represent your role. And I'm not saying that because I'm a pupil to you, but I'm saying that. Oh, come on, that's even a laugh. But I'm not saying that because I'm a pupil to you, but I am a mere person who represents, and therefore, you basically represent all of me. And to be fairly honest, I admire you, like legitimately and IRL wise. And I would like to be just like you. Well,
I mean,
well.
I don't think you want to be just like me.
Well, wait. Let me be specific. Paperwork wise, but is is that still the wrong way to go, or is that still you in a way?
I don't know, man.
Okay,
I might want to put some thought into it.
I actually might need to put some thought in. I'm actually really need to put some thought into it, actually. But actually, for real, thank you for at least representing here. Thank you for being a humble guest.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yep. For the rest of you guys, do note that if you want to be part of the podcast, all you need to do is just send me via DM or reply to the message. Replying to the message would actually be replying to the message that will be sent with the log and the video would actually be very useful and very helpful. I don't want to actually have a moment where that actually happened. You know what, Lee, let me just tell you something with a few minutes of our time. I was doing my little daily business of just waking up, and my mother actually took me to the beach. Next minute, came home, and then I decided to look in my Discord. I haven't checked for a while, and I said, "Good lord, the amount of people!" And those amount of people were just devs. There was Pub, Destroyer, and you. And actually, from what Card said, Gungrix, Matt, Zach, and Destroyer actually want to be interviewed themselves for the thuncast, and I was truly excited. But however, beyond everyone else, they have to go through the shuffle. Other than that, is there any final words for the dear viewers that you would like to give?
One sec, with some good chicken. I want to wash it down.
The man, the myth himself, honestly eats chicken. Just says Leroy Jenkins afterwards and charges into battle. A little quoting from the past.
Yeah. Fuck, give me a second. That was what I was gonna say. Right, so some goals of Envy Imperium, yada yada, may seem too big, too far out of reach, but if y'all put in the time, the effort, and the initiative to achieve those goals, y'all are more likely to, get the role. It's honestly pretty easy to progress within the group if you have a level head or competent. Basic shit.
Very, very well said, Thee. You all have a wonderful day and enjoy yourselves. Thank you, dear fellow viewers, for coming along and hearing the podcast. As we go upon our day, we have wonderful days. Some may have worse, but in the mere end, we get to have fun and play on Caldega with multiple enemies and multiple friends. All take care, my dear friends, and have a wonderful day. Log end.